For the first time in my 27 years of living, I am apartment hunting because I decided I want to be grown and live on my own. And it is ghetto as fuck. So let's talk about it while I do some skincare. So the house that we're living in currently, the lease is up in June and July. I started looking for apartments in like February, March, right? Because I just wanted to see what was out here, what was in the area, what I could actually realistically get approved for. And I found some places. There was one place in particular that I was looking to go to where it was like, oh, I'm gonna need another bar soap. Where it was just like every time I would call, they wouldn't answer the phone. So it made it really hard to get in contact with them. So yesterday, or the day before, a couple days ago, I went and I started to like do some research on like the apartments or whatever. So I went over there and got some information. I couldn't look at I couldn't look at the apartment because they didn't have anything for show. So I went and I looked, got some information, looked that over. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't really get to ask a whole lot of questions because it was like an in and out type thing. But it's really ghetto when you have to consider certain factors like being disabled or your budget for an apartment, what you can realistically afford versus what's actually out here. Like it's really a terrible time to be an adult and apartment hunt, but especially be a disabled adult and trying to look for an apartment on your own because there's nothing that's affordable. And I know everybody gonna say apply for housing or apply for Section 8. Those only open so often, and then you still have to wait, and then you have to be chosen to even be put on the waiting list. So it's like a catch-22. It's like, and then on top of that, you really have to choose between comfort and affordability. If you want affordability, you have to potentially live in a space where there are a bunch of people. You have to live basically in an unsafe area, and I shouldn't have to pay to feel safe, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I shouldn't have to pay extra for security. Security and safety should not be a convenience or a luxury. Like it should be something that should be afforded to everybody. And the areas where the apartments are $500, $600, $700 even, usually those areas are the ones where where you gotta sleep with one eye open. And baby, it don't matter how many eyes I sleep with open, I'm not gonna be able to see you, and I don't have time. Like I have enough going on as a person with a disability anyway. So the last thing I need is to have to worry about looking over my shoulder or poking my ears out a little bit more than I normally would to make sure that my surroundings are safe. I don't have time for that. In my head, I had a certain idea of what I thought apartment hunting would be like. And like, I know it's not like that. I was being very delusional. Okay, so allow me to live in my state of delusion, right? But in my head, I had an idea. Did anything come out? I guess. I had an idea of like what I thought it would be like looking for an apartment. And I was visualizing in my head all the fun that I'm going to have. And I know that it will be fun eventually. But the preliminary stuff, like of just trying to find somewhere that's within the price range and that's not going to bust your head, that's not going to crack your card in half, is insane. And in this economy, with the way stuff is going, like that's pretty much impossible. Yeah, my nose been like peeling a lot. And I think this is an exfoliating toner. So if I use this every day like I'm supposed to, and I do my skincare like I'm supposed to, my nose will be right. But anyways, trying to like just find a place, it's really annoying. I'm gonna keep looking though. I'm still gonna be excited about it because I know like it's this is just the boring adulting part of it or whatever. But it is what it is. And it's not technically my first time living on my own. I've lived on my own before when I was in Louisiana and I had went to a training center. I lived in a apartment, but I didn't have to pay rent and I didn't have to pay bills, but it gave you the sense of what it's like to live on your own. And it's real peaceful when it's just you, you know. No shade to the people I stay with, because you know we be straight, but having your own is just elite. And when you experience that for the first time, that's a lot.